This is a particularly interesting time in the courts right now. Tons of interesting stuff going on. But most of it we don't get to experience in real time or on tape because mostly cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom. So like with the huge Supreme Court cases in the last few weeks, we have audio, but we have no video. We have no still pictures either. We just have the awesome sketches of courtroom sketch artists who I hope will still not lose their jobs, even if the people who want cameras at the Supreme Court eventually get their way. It's the same deal with the amazing, ongoing, riveting trial of the Boston mobster Whitey Bulger. In the Whitey Bulger trial, there are also no cameras in the courtroom, no video, no stills, but we do get sketches, and sometimes we get audio. This is part of a Whitey Bulger jailhouse conversation about the Triple O's, his famous South Boston liquor store.
So I picked up a shotgun and I'm aiming it at them. The guy looked up and see you later. I put one in the chamber, like, and he looked up and I'm aiming and he says, the other guy, a bag of peanuts, please.
Trials in criminal courts and civil courts are public events. Anybody can go and watch in person if there's room for you. Most people don't try to do that, let alone travel across the country to do that. But when trials can be nationally televised, people really do watch. I mean, the Menendez brothers trial, the O.J. Simpson trial with Johnny Cochran and Marcia Clark, the Casey Anthony trial, just a couple of months ago, the Jodi Arias trial. And now there is the George Zimmerman trial being televised on national TV. George Zimmerman is pleading not guilty to second-degree murder in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Mr. Zimmerman claims that he shot the 17-year-old Mr. Martin in self-defense. When the story first broke, much of the debate centered around Florida's Stand Your Ground law and the intersection of race and suspicion and fear with that law. Now that the trial is being televised, though, there's just as much focus on just the human drama of it all, and it has had a huge TV audience riveted every day of the trial. Today, the prosecution side called the trial's 33rd witness to the stand, a former professor of criminal justice who had taught the defendant, George Zimmerman, back in 2011. The professor, though, is in Colorado now, and the trial is in Florida. And although you would think that Colorado to Florida should not be an insurmountable distance to travel to be a witness in a murder trial, for some reason, the court decided to allow this professor to testify remotely. They had him testify by Skype. They even swore him in over Skype. But watch what happened when he started testifying.
Professor Pleasance, the course that you teach, is that sort of an in-classroom course, or is it a different type?
No, this is a learning course where we teach it online and requires activities by the student and that's based on the coursework in the book.
I'm sorry, would you go ahead and repeat that starting from the beginning?
Yes, is it coming across?
Go ahead.
Okay. Could you repeat the question?
Thank you. No other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Cross. Is that his phone that's getting those messages?
It's someone calling the destination, Your Honor. I get it. Just hit decline.
I have no control over this computer.
That's all right.
Hold on, I'm just declining.
I gotta tell you, there's now a really good chance that we're being toyed with, just so you know.
See, these are not his friends calling during the trial. I mean, maybe the first time it was Salman Telper. Maybe that's a friend of his calling to ask about lunch plans or something. But the second, third, 10th time, what's happening here is a byproduct of the fact that this trial is on TV. And the prosecution and the court were too computer illiterate to know that they were broadcasting to a live television audience all the information that that audience needed to be able to call in on Skype themselves and interrupt this part of the trial. When they put the witness on screen on Skype, they also showed his and their own Skype names, which are kind of the equivalent of phone numbers, Skype phone numbers. So then any number of people watching the trial decided to call in to those Skype names in the middle of the testimony, and so it was whack-a-mole with the mouse. Decline, decline, decline. So as that trial has everybody riveted, as that is unfolding on live TV today, the prosecution gave the whole real-time audience a chance to screw the trial up. In case you're wondering why the Supreme Court has been a little shy about putting themselves on live TV, right? That said, I have to say, this whole thing could have been avoided with the assistance of a tech-savvy intern, like our intern Jonathan, who you can see here calling his mom on Skype. Special note for the prosecution here. You see, you go to the settings part, you click the button that says do not disturb, and then people can't jump in on your Skyping with mom or your Skyping witness statement with the nationally televised murder trial. Do not disturb. Do not show this message again. In courtroom drama and in life, the lesson is almost always the same for those of us who are aging into technological obsolescence. If you are not going to bother to read the manual yourself, don't fake it. Ask anyone under age 20 and they will fix it for you.